Okay, now let's talk about dashboards. So you have a customer user dashboard, which will look like this, okay? And we'll have these menu options. And then you have what's called a listing user dashboard. And right now I'm using the agent broker residential dashboard. So you have the residential dashboard, you have the commercial dashboard, and then you have the combo dashboard. The agent broker dashboard is the default dashboard, meaning it comes with all the bells and whistles and all the functionalities. But then they're broken up. Like I said, you have residential, you have commercial, and you have combo. For the corporate account, you have residential, which is like the combo, right? And you can select residential, rental sales, or commercial. But then there's features that are missing from the agent dashboard that only apply to corporate account. The same thing with the for sale by homeowner. Now, more things have been removed and their count is limited. So again, we started with the agent, which was built out. Now these other accounts that I'm showing you need to be created as well by removing features from the agent broker dashboard. But you have this template here so you can see exactly what needs to be removed. Going back to the customer dashboard, a customer comes to their dashboard, this dashboard, to see properties if they're looking at cities or uh, they came off those default searches from the platform. Any property that they've looked at that they have not selected to choose as a saved property will be grayed out. And in the map view, it will show those properties as gray instead of green circles. There's also clustering that takes place from the high view. So it shows groups of clusters of properties, and then as it narrows down, those clusters break up to the individual property. But at the individual property, if they've looked at it before, it will not appear green but gray, helping the visitor or the customer, I should say, know what they've looked at and what they haven't. 30-minute showing. 30-minute showing, which is up in, let's see if I can zoom in a little more. That goes back to what I was talking about with listing users. Listing users are all users except customers. Listing users are people who pay for the platform. They can select from their dashboard which property they're promoting that will show 30-minute showing. So and the reason I'm talking about this, because right now it's not set up for the customer dashboard, so it needs to be added. Um, the layout should be 4 across, 3 down. These features need to be tested to make sure they work. So in this case, we don't have um, oval shapes for here because I don't think it looks right. It probably doesn't look right. So we went with this shape and this shape. We could try it, you know, but to save time and dollars, we can just, leave them this the way they are, which is fine. We do need to make sure that all the radio buttons look like this, not square. Some are squared and look like that, and that they all work. So if I want to choose a rental, I can click here, type in the city or town. Town will take me to the town page. City will put me back here. The filter I shared with you earlier, what the filter looks like, so that the the user is getting the same experience across across their platforms. And if there's any one of us that forgot what that looked like, that was like this. And it's in the Google Drive. Yeah, I'm a little too zoomed in right now, but you know, just putting it up there for um, you to see. Getting back to this, if I select properties, then I can click remove all unsaved properties. This is an infinity scroll, so the platform will engage the listings that appear here unless we're doing high to low, low to high. Pricing is sorts all of the properties, not just what's on this screen. But when it comes to removed saved on listings, it's only here. And the saved all listings, it's only what's appearing here, the 12. Select all listings, so whatever's left on the screen or all of this, I select all, type a message, and it sends a message, kind of a blast, to all the listing users for all these properties that appear. So I don't have to manually send each and every one. We have to test all that to make sure it's functioning correctly. That's all I'm saying, is that these buttons, 1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons are working correctly. The same thing with the saved. I believe the saved is, but just bear with me. And the 30-minute showing, that's not working because that's not set up. It ties into the message app, and it ties into the, well, the message app is Twilio, most likely. Um, what happens is they click on this, they get an immediate pop-up that says, do you want to, and the pop-up is filled out by the back end, so it's not static information, but from the super admin. But it's basically making them aware that by selecting this property and wanting to go forward, they will be contacted within 30 minutes to see this property. Sometimes they may not be ready to see it. And it lets them know that they will be contacted either by chat or by video chat. So then you know, oh, someone could actually reach out to me, but by video chat. If the person does not get in touch with them, they get an email. Well, nevertheless, an hour after they have reached out to this person, actually, yeah, an hour after they've reached out to this person, they will get an email, which will be a survey. That's not set up. The survey is basically saying, did the person, did so-and-so contact you for that listing within the 30 to 45-minute time? And it's yes or no. And then that's simply it. It's just yes or no. And if it's no, what happens is we get a 3-strike, you're out system. Because what's not showing on that 30-minute page, failed to mention, which needs to show, is, and it's a disclaimer that stays across the bottom, but when they click on 30-minute showing for the first time, they have to click this this pop-up, and the pop-up basically tells them that you must take this seriously. Again, the information is filled out in the back end, but they get a pop-up window. They have to check and accept, or they can decline and cancel and not use 30-minute showing. But if they accept and they go forward, what their information in that pop-up, sorry, that was part of the account settings, but I forgot to bring it up. What they are accepting is in that pop-up, which will tell them that if they fail to show up or respond for these 30-minute showings, after the third time, the fourth time, they will be banned from using the service for 2 months. And if it happens a second time, they can be banned up to 3. They will be banned for 3 months, and it will incrementally increase, an additional month each time until the 5th time this happens, and then they need to contact us because I was, basically they need to request for it to be turned on, because after the 5th time of them failing, you know, 3 times up to fifth time of me the platform reactivating it, we want to turn that off. Any questions you can ask me about that, but the person doesn't show that, you know, they're known that how serious it is, because we want to keep the integrity of the platform. Make certain that the people are being reaching out to them uh, and trying to contact them, and they find it valuable. Each one of these they're supposed to be able to click on and it pops open, which it does. Each neighborhood specialist, we want to make sure this is working, where they click on that and they're seeing the information, and then but what happens is they click on this. This opens up in a new tab, not it opens up a new tab where they will take into. They still have their original tab, but that tab takes them to their private web page. Okay. Here they should be able to, and it doesn't work right now, so it has to be tested and made to work, where they're clicking on this and they're going to get basically an advertisement, and the advertisement will pop up like this. This will be oval, not square. They have to add this information and add maybe a note if they want to. Required is to add the first four. That's required so that if they want to be contacted by this, it's their choosing, and then they get this little thank you advertisement. Again, that's not set up. That needs to be set up. Okay, so anything different on this one? No. Any additional questions, please ask me what needs to be fixed. I've gone over it pretty thoroughly. Same thing with map. They click map, but map works right now to go to map. The only thing that doesn't work on map is the drawing feature, clustering, and then well, the little dot showing where the property is. And we have the icon, the map icon for residential, which is different than commercial. We have that. Now, agent, broker, rental. So, as I said before, the residential has these two features. The commercial has these two. What we're going to do is right now just go on the website. Now, what needs to be fixed is, you see where this says zip, town, city, state? Right now, we're missing city. So this has to be redone and moved over, because you see there's less space over here, there's more over here. What also has to be done is, if let's see, this is commercial, residential, rental. You got the fees section. Fee section here should be numbers, letters, percent sign, decimals. That's not what I can put in here. Here it's just numbers and percentage with decimals. So it could be like 7.5% or 5% or 3%, or a number, so they can add that in here. Right now, that's not working right. Open listings, that's fine. The date listing here can't go backwards. Right now, you can go backwards, meaning it's the 12th, but I can add the 5th. You shouldn't be able to do that. 30-minute showing. Okay, these little square buttons there, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like the diagram. Everything is radial. All these are radial buttons, not what what these are here. Over here, this for residential is supposed to be open house above that. See where it says open house? You have this diagram, okay? But I'm letting you know what's missing and what needs to be fixed. PDF is only uploaded here, so if it's not a PDF, it shouldn't take, and they should know that it's not accepting. The pictures do take here, and you can move them around, but right now they don't. There seems to be that same image issue for portfolio, or your profile picture or the background picture, and same thing for here. These studio, house, co-op, condo, town, those are not static. Those are property type. They should be added or be able to removed from the back end. And it needs right now and it needs to be coded according to area. What I mean is, um, well, I don't know if that's asking too much, but what it needs to eventually be done. What is some places in America, a studio is not called a studio. And some places in the world, a studio is called, I think an apartment's called a flat, right? They have different words for the same things. So the concern is MAC address, IP address should also um, be attached to this. Now in the super admin, we're adding this, these property types. We're not adding these boxes. These boxes are static, okay? But we are adding these property types. Um, because something like this is a mistake. Room doesn't exist for an agent. Only for sale by homeowner can add a room. Um, but nevertheless, that needs to be fixed because um, that's the yeah that's the issue that's on here. So this is static. Amenities is added from the back end, so we need to be able to make sure SuperAdmin allows for that. Uh, this is something that's off. You see how this is not even with this. Now, granted, if I want to type more, I can scroll, right, and open this up. And that's not a problem. But at the default, it's not even, so that is a problem. And the submit button doesn't look like our typical submit buttons. And if I don't have a team, it shouldn't say team. It should, I don't know, this maybe snaps up to the bottom of the add window instead of this dead space. Maybe then this can open up this way when this is snapped up here. And then if I have a team, it comes down and then this opens up. If I have a team, what you're supposed to be able to do over here is I click on so I can create the listing, or I click this and I create the listings, but either or, I should say. I can add my team members by clicking on them. That's all this window will allow me to do, is just click on them. They are highlighted, and the ones that are highlighted are associated with this ad. So when I hit submit, that listing is created and their pictures will appear alongside my picture in the listing. My picture is always in the first position. I'm a team leader who's creating the listing, adding them. They are, however, appearing secondary and third, and they'll appear um, according to how I click them, you know, or alphabetical order or something. And in Figma, it shows you what a listing looks like with these added. Um, and we want to make sure this works, okay? Because right now I'm not certain about that. What else needs to be fixed? So sales, let's see. Sales is the same thing as I mentioned before. And the commercial corporate account here for residential never has an end date because they own it. So they either expire or keep it active. There's no exclusivity because it is theirs. It's already exclusive. Um, Fee, number, words, same thing with OP. But this is added from the back end, not from here. OP is added from the back end. Fees they put in. So it could be numbers and letters, percentage. Terms is also added from the back end. Offerings also added from the back end. And so it's similar to what I was saying before. This has to be even. Um, there are no team members that are in corporate account. So this can just be snapped up here. And this could open up this way. In the future, we can redesign this any other way. Now I just noticed that the corporate dashboard information is not there, but it is over here, so that's fine. So as you see, there's minor changes, very minor changes here, and then you have the rental, you have the sales, rental has no fee, sales, that doesn't exist. Commercial leasing, yeah, here we are, corporate user commercial leasing. This is what their dashboard should look like with the information that's in here. Currently, that information is inaccurate. So the information in these windows is inaccurate. So we need to, and the order is inaccurate. Like leisure and specialty should appear at the end. And the reason they should appear at the end, because if you click specialty or leisure, another drop-down window needs to open up to select that type of specialty property or that type of leisure property. And those drop-down is added from the back. So this should most likely go up here. So you could just have the ad, and then this can open out more this way. Right now it's working where you can't add at Gmail, at Yahoo, at Hotmail, but you shouldn't be able to add com and org. Net, you can't remove it because we use the word in our industry, like net rent, net, net this, net everything. For sale by homeowner. Now for sale by homeowner, what needs to be added is obviously much less on their dashboard from the agent, but they are capped. They can promote no more than 3 listings at a time. 2 residential, 2 rentals, 1 sale. So they can have an active of 3 listings, but 2 can be rentals, 1 could be sales. That's it. And if they only have sales, then they only have 1. If they only have rentals, they only have 2. It's straightforward like that. If they have more than that, then they have to open up a corporate account where they can show all their properties that they want. Another feature is this account, any property that is still listed as current listing starting of the 3rd week, right? First 2 weeks, they're promoting it, but once the 3rd week comes, mark down all neighborhood specialists, nearby neighborhood specialists to this address, get a notification in their message, and an email notification stating a new property has appeared in your area. You should contact this person. So they have the option to reach out to on message on the platform from the 3rd week on, only neighborhood specialists. These for sale by homeowners. So that's a special feature for sale. That's a special feature for sale by homeowner and for this account. Now, this account, later on, we're going to revisit, and they have a salesperson. There's supposed to be a salesperson on this as well. In fact, the only one that does not have salesperson is the agent because they are the salesperson. So when we go back to customers, we'll go into that. Okay. Current listing